The merchant's eyes are starry and bright. This is his first glimpse of New Terra. You ask the man how he managed to scale the end wall, and he raises 2 bloodied palms to show you. Why, it seems as though he climbed over himself in pursuit of your group. He laughs off your surprise. It was nothing, not when there's business to be doing. You recoil a bit, but are nonetheless glad to have the chance to do some shopping. To battle. As you forge on through the snow, you come across a tattered doll covered in deep gashes. Gashes that could only be made by monster claws. The doll appears to be covered in dark red blood. You don't want to think about the fate that befell its owner. The smell of all that blood is going to attract more monsters, the rest of the party warns. Someone must be missing it, you insist, and place the bloody doll into your pack. Beautiful. Sometimes you get lucky. I expected nothing less. To battle. Oh! Beautiful. Get him. Monster. It's a monster. Fortunately, it hasn't noticed you yet. So far, so good. You quietly ready your weapon and spring at the monster for an attack from behind. Alas, the monster senses your presence and whips around, ready to fight. I expected nothing less. Your surprise attack failed, but you also rid the world of another monster. That'll do. You return to the path and keep walking. Beautiful. Beautiful. Sometimes you get lucky. According to Polka, the place that the map marker indicates should be around here. You can detect the telltale signs of life nearby. Could there be a village? It may be worth a visit. You notice telltale signs of monsters, too. To your surprise, you realize that there is a settlement of monsters is just ahead. The mark on the map looks like it's pointing to this village. It seems like it could be dangerous to approach. You say that you want to go into the village, but Legol stops you, insisting that you need a plan first. However, with uncommon zeal, Polka suddenly bursts out, "Please, you have to let me investigate the place." He explains that the mark drawn on the map looks much like his mother's hand. You truly do want to agree to his request, but it would be reckless to a fault if you just marched right in without preparing. Fighting a whole town's worth of monsters would be reckless, to put it mildly. Tossing a stone to get the monster's attention would hardly be a long-term solution. You have no idea what you do after that. The fairies you encountered on the end wall were masquerading as Polka and Trollis. So wouldn't that mean you could use this powder to disguise yourselves? You suggest to the others that you use the fairy dust to disguise yourselves as monsters. Though reluctant to assume such a form, you're left with little other recourse. You and the others use the fairy dust and transform into monsters. Trollis seems somehow pleased with her newfound fuzziness. Certainly more pleased than Legol, who is rather less than happy about his new monster form. At any rate, the transformation has afforded you the opportunity to safely infiltrate the village, and you set off to do so. It looks like no humans live in this village. Instead, the monsters seem to have a thriving culture of their own. You can't hide your surprise that they live just like humans, and your mouth drops open. Polka whispers into your ear, "Let's hurry and look around this place before they find out what we really are." The monster offers you a ball and says, "I'm much too noble. Couldn't possibly play with something like this. Throw me something more valuable," the monster says, tail wagging back and forth out of a desire to play. "Here, fetch," you say, throwing something from your pack. The monster zips after it, tongue lolling with delight. The monster returns quickly, something clutched in mouth, but not what you threw. The monster's tail wags back and forth, and its tongue lolls out. You can tell it wants to play some more. "I'm so hungry," the bone monster says, theatrically patting the void where its stomach would be. It keeps stealing glances over at you. Polka signals to you with his eyes to just ignore it. The creature is clearly fishing for a response. Trollis, however, takes the bait. "But no stomach?" "Great. That's right," chatters the monster with delight, its joints cricking and cracking. "That's why I'm so hungry." It always goes right through me. You're not gonna win contest like that, one of the monsters says breathlessly. The trio seems worked up about something. When you ask what kind of contest it is, the monsters leap around and reply, "Jumping contest." "Higher, higher, higher," the monsters say, hopping and jumping with gusto as they practice for their jumping contest. With starry, lovelorn eyes, the sprite says, "How I wish to see him again." Upon hearing the details from her, you think the object of her longing sounds a bit like Legol. "Ha! As if," the monster snorts with laughter. The monster running the inn can sing a tune so sweet, it seems it'll have you sound asleep in moments and dreaming sweet, rejuvenating dreams. How about a nice rest? Someone calls as you approach the inn. The monster running the weapon shop explains that they sell weapons stolen from adventurers. After you enter the dimly lit shop, you notice its monster owner sighing. You ask if something is wrong, and it explains that it doesn't have enough dishes to feed the pets in the shop. After taking a good look at you, the owner asks, "Would you be willing to get a plate from the nearby village?" You don't especially want to help a monster, but Polka convinces you by saying, "It probably wouldn't hurt for us to ingratiate ourselves to the locals." All the goods on offer have been stolen from one adventurer or another. The shopkeep impresses upon you just how useful they'll be. Someday, the monster says, trembling all over. The monster cackles ominously. I may have shed my earthly shell, but I haven't lost my love of games. This is the game parlor. A monster calls out, "Want to play cards?" The doors of the magnificent mansion open, and a delightfully fluffy monster comes out. The monster says, "Spend all the time you want. Our village is yours." It looks as though this is the local mayor. The mayor looks at Polka in surprise, and then narrows his eyes. He explains that Polka reminds him a lot of a friend of his from long ago. Hoping to win the mayor over, Polka rattles off a lie. Yes, I'm his descendant." The mayor is apparently the credulous sort, and is convinced. He offers a memento of his old friend.